Welcome everyone back to the Good Brothers YouTube channel here at GB Towers in Edinburgh. Sorry we've been absent for a while. There's been a huge amount of stuff going on now that we've been able to reopen in some form and it's taken a lot of our time. However, we're back and today we're going to be talking about organic and natural wines and looking under the skins of what these terms actually mean. So to start with, organics. Now, organics is a term most of us will be fairly familiar with. It's a term in winemaking that was defined in 1981 as a process that uses no inorganic compounds in production. That means no pesticides, no fertilizers, nothing that is man-made. We can use organic fertilizers and we can use something which we call a Bordeaux spray, which is a mixture of copper, lime and water, which we spray on the vineyards to stop mildew, but pretty much nothing inorganic can be used. Now the whole ethos is also around living vineyards here. It's a way of life. We have lots of green cover, which is when you imagine a vineyard and you see these beautiful vineyards, you see soil and you see more vineyards. A living vineyard is not that. A living vineyard is just green everywhere. Grass growing high, wild shrubs, wildflowers, everything. Really encouraging wildlife to live in the vineyards. This is what is the fundamentals behind organic viticulture. And must be said, organic viticulture does not apply to the winery. This is just purely how we grow the vines and the grapes. We've spoken about biodynamics in a previous episode. Then the next step on from there is natural wine. Now this is where things get really contentious. Natural wine. If I say natural wine to you, I imagine it conjures up ideas of sort of very murky, cloudy wines which taste of a little bit like cider, really spiky, not clean and elegant. This is where natural wine causes problems, or the term natural wine causes problems, because there is no legal definition of what natural wine is. It can be really clean, really elegant wines that just have had no human manipulation, or they can be really the other end scale where they're dark, they're moody, they're spiky, they're really textural wines. There's a huge scope here, and that is the problem, that when we pick up a bottle of natural wine, we don't really know what we're getting. Now in essence, a natural wine is a wine that has had no human manipulation post planting of the vines. Now what does that mean? It means that we only ever use biodynamic fertilizers. We pick in optimum days. We don't spray with SO2, sulfur, which stabilizes wines and potentially masks flavors or strips out flavors. In the winery, we do not use man-made yeast. It's all organic yeast or indigenous yeast, so yeast that's forming in the vineyard on the grapes in situ, which is then transported. We don't punch down. We don't use new oak. We'd only ever use neutral oak or anything that doesn't change the flavor. A natural wine is very much the essence of that vineyard, taken from the vineyard into the winery, into the bottle. It should be unique. The taste, the flavor, the sensation should be unique to that vineyard. Yes, you can get lots of variation in styles. I love natural wine, but I love clean natural wine, elegant natural wine that is beautiful. I'm not such a big fan of the spikier, the more tannic styles. I'm not a huge fan of that, but there is something in natural wine for everyone. It is a minefield. Certain countries are starting to put sort of laws in place to stipulate what should be a natural wine. I think what's generally accepted is there should be no more than about 20 to 30 milligrams of added sulfur into wine. Most natural winemakers will not add any sulfur at all post-production. Some do, because some years you have to do something to help stabilize the wine because it's been a bad vintage. There might have been some mildew or some rot, or might have been too ripe or too cold. So they have to do something. It's just how small we make those changes. Now a commercial wine might add 150 micrograms of sulfur into a wine to stabilize it. We're talking a fraction of that is acceptable in natural wines, between 20 and 30. So why should we be drinking organic, biodynamic and natural wine? Well, quite simply, it's because of the ethos of the living earth. If we use man-made chemicals spraying everywhere, we kill off animals, we kill off living organisms, we have soils that are not healthy. Bumblebees, there's a word which is on so many people's tongue, bumblebees. Without bees pollinating and going between flowers, we're not getting biodiversity. And this is the key to this whole movement. Also, the lack of additions into a wine, the lack of fining and filtering, which we've touched on. These help to create cleaner, healthier wines. Wines which are not stripped of flavor, are not pumped full of chemicals to stabilize. Remember, some people are allergic to sulfur, and this is where some people get flushed with red wines. So the less sulfur left in the wine, and you will always get a level of naturally occurring sulfur. That is a natural byproduct. What I'm talking about here is additional sulfur to stabilize the wine. The less additional sulfur in a wine, generally the healthier you will feel. You might not get these hot flushes. You might not get the dehydration that it causes. So basically means you get less of a hangover. That is a lie. If anyone says natural wine gives you less of a hangover, they are lying. You drink enough wine, you'll always get a hangover. Fact. So that is organic, biodynamic, natural wine covered off in the last 2 episodes. If you're seeing this for the first time, please do hit the subscribe button down there. We have so many videos on this channel now. There's stuff for everyone. If you have any comments or questions you want to ask me or the team here, and it's not just me, it is a team of people working here at Good Brothers and Little Rascal and Winecraft. There's a lot of us. Please leave a note down below. We'll try and get back with all the comments. So please leave your comments. And just to finish off, guys, as always, remember, drink better wine.